Hello everyone and welcome to the next tutorial here on the channel. In this tutorial we're going to be making a creation for the 4th of July. It's basically going to be a rocket decoration with a whole bunch of rockets. We're going to be making 3 of these and then attaching them together like a tripod. And this creation you could put like on your tables for the 4th of July. It's basically going to be a decoration and you can set it up anywhere you want to. So let's get started here on making the creation. You're going to be using 3 straws for this and a whole bunch of tape. Red, white, and blue would be the obvious colors for the 4th of July, but you can do it any color you want to. If you do use your straws, make sure that they're roughly all the same size and these are all the same diameter on the inside, so that'll work out perfectly. So let's get started here on making the tutorial. Let's get started here on making our first rocket here. Now once I show you all the directions for this one, you can easily repeat those instructions for the other 2, so I won't have to show you those as well. And then once we have all 3 created, I'll show you how to attach them like the tripod, which I'm going to show you how to make. So our first step we're going to do is cut out a strip of tape in the color you want. That's the same length as the straw here. And for this one it's 8.5 inches, but like I said, if you're using a different kind of straw it might be a little different. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll very carefully the piece of duct tape onto the straw. This should be really simple. It works out really well. And now we have our red piece. The straw was already red, but you're going to cover it with tape anyway. And we have our red piece. Now we're going to work on the top of the rocket here as well as the very pointy top of it. So let's work on that step next. So for the body of the rocket, we're going to take 2 strips of tape that are 3 inches long, and we're going to cut out a small piece for the connecting piece. We're going to take these 2 3-inch strips and stick them together, just like this. Try not to show any sticky side. Then what we're simply going to do is roll it until we get the size of the cylinder that we want. That's going to be probably about good right there. So we'll take this piece here, and we'll very simply attach it to this piece, and then attach it so that it stays a perfect cylinder. So stick that down. Now we have our cylinder. Now we need to attach it to the top of the rocket here. So to attach it, it's very simple. We're going to take 2 pieces of tape here, 2 very small pieces. We're going to align it on the very top of the straw here. Put about half of it on this piece and half of it on the straw. And now you see you can't really connect it without damaging that cylinder. So what you're going to do is you're going to take 2 pieces of tape and cut it right there. This will allow you to keep the shape of the cylinder while still attaching it. So you got that piece there. Now what you're going to do is take this piece and you're going to simply do the exact same thing on the top, and you're going to wrap that on the inside. And then you can just trim off any little pieces that stick up like that there and that over here. Now I got to work on the pointy top for the rocket. Alright, to make the pointy top of the rocket, we just need to take 2 strips of tape that are a little over 2 inches long and stick them together just like that. Then we're going to take our pair of scissors here and we're going to trim out a near perfect circle from the middle of this piece here. And it doesn't matter if you get a perfect circle the first time, you can always just recut another one or just do a little bit of cutting to make sure that it looks more or less like a perfect circle. Once you have your circle, you're going to cut into the center like this, and you're pretty much going to make it look like Pac-Man, as you can see on there. Now what you're going to do is just fold these 2 together like this until you get your desired cone. And you can do a little bit of trimming because it looks more or less like an oval right there. If it doesn't get as much of a cone as you want to, you can just trim out a little bit more of the Pac-Man mouth, and then you can do it again. So once you get this desired cone, we're going to attach it to the top here. I'll show you how to do that next. Alright, so once you have the right size cone and it's pretty much the way you want it to, we're just going to take a strip of tape and connect it so that it does not unravel. And now it looks just like a little hat like that. We're going to take a really small piece of tape right here, and we're going to stick this on the inside and put about half of it stuck inside the straw here. And then half of it we want to peel back like this so you can see the sticky side showing. Now what we're going to do is we're going to mash this little hat, which is actually the tip of the rocket, onto this piece here. And it doesn't take much. You just need to push down a little bit and that'll get it stuck. These aren't going to be like thrown around at all, so they should stay on just with a little bit of adhesive on there. And that completes the rocket that we have here. Now what you want to do is you want to repeat all these instructions that I just showed you on these 2 over here. And I would recommend do 1 in blue and 1 in white, and then you'll have a cool patriotic rocket thing. So do those 2 now, and I'll show you how to connect the 2 once we've created all 3 of these. Alright, so after a little time we have our 3 straw rockets. Now what we're going to do is attach them on a tripod and they'll be able to stand up all by themselves. So let's do that step right now. Alright, so to do this, we're going to take our 2 rockets that we want to attach first, and we're going to line them up on a cross. And you're going to take a couple strips of tape that are fairly thin, and you're going to stretch those across the 2 rockets like this. And there's really no special way of doing this. You just want to make sure the 2 are attached and that they don't separate. And once you get that piece there, we're going to take and do the exact same thing on the bottom as well, because you don't want these 2 to separate at all. So you want to make sure that they stay exactly on the same spot there, and very carefully stick them together like that. If they come apart, just rip the tape off and redo it, but just do it carefully. So now what we're going to do is make sure that's stuck down and put our 3rd one on here. So once you have the first 2 connected fairly well, put your 3rd one on there and position it until you get a pretty good tripod. And you might have to adjust these 2 a little bit, because if they're still swiveling back and forth, you might have to just play with that around a little bit until you get the right tripod shape. Once you do, we're just very simply going to connect the 3rd one into the mix here, and do it very carefully, making sure it doesn't go anywhere. They shouldn't be very heavy because they're just straws and duct tape, but you want to be careful to make sure that it's not too lopsided, otherwise it won't exactly work too well. If you have a lot of trouble with this, the answer to it is just more tape. Just keep wrapping it around until you get a nice bond in the center, and then you can have your really nice tripod of rockets here. So you can see that it's really a simple creation with just straws and everything. I wanted to use just a few household materials because you guys want to make this for 4th of July. It's only 2 days away, so you guys can make it pretty quickly. And that's how to make a just a kind of cool decoration you can put on your table or wherever you want to. It's kind of just a rocket tripod for the 4th of July. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the tutorial. I'll catch you guys next time on the channel.